Our speaker is a registered pharmacist, faculty, and chair of Department of Pharmacy, School of Healthcare Professions from the University of San Carlos in Cebu. Her interest includes health education, cancer research, biochemistry, and pharmacognosy, wherein she published relevant researches in international journals in collaboration with other experts in the field. She obtained her Bachelor of Science in Pharmacy from the University of San Carlos with a distinction of cum laude. And soon after, she received scholarship grants to study Master of Science in Biomedical Chemistry from Chulalongkorn University in Thailand. Currently, she is studying a joint PhD in Biomedical Sciences and Biotechnology in Chulalongkorn University, Thailand, and University of Liverpool in the United Kingdom. Let's give a virtual round of applause to Professor Abigail Huy Ekoy, MSc.
So my talk today is natural products for therapeutic applications. I just want to start a conversation with you. So I do want to point out that this is a pharmacist perspective. I've worked on several different kinds of projects, and I just like to talk to you about some points and give you an overview of the researches that we've done so far. And hopefully that would spark your interest in plant research as well. So this is the outline of our talk for today. So I'd like to discuss with you the value of complementary and alternative medicine in health currently. And later on, we will talk about how CAM can fuel drug discovery research. We will also emphasize the value of phytochemicals for health benefits. And we will try to look into how the traditional medicine and modern or conventional medicine can blend well. And then we will talk about drug discovery, particularly in cancer. So I would like to discuss with you about herbal supplements first, because they are here to stay globally. So herbal supplements fall under the category of CAM. So herbal supplements are considered a type of dietary supplement, and this is with the US or NIH definition. And that means that the FDA is not authorized to review these supplements for safety and effectiveness before marketing. These fall under the category, which is a larger category, and this is called complementary and alternative medicine, together with the herbs or supplements and other natural health products. Now, for cancer, there is a noted increase in CAM use. Just in the US cancer population alone, in 2007, there's 44% of the cancer population reporting the use of CAM. And among many surveys globally and for various other diseases, you will find a similar trend that people are using CAM for various diseases. So now that we've established that it is really something that we face as a reality, here are some words of caution. So natural is not equivalent to safe. And there is a notion, actually, for a lot of people that if it's natural, it's safe. I've heard some people telling me I'm really trying to be healthy by not putting any chemicals in my body. That is a very difficult thing to do, right? So patients use CAM for a variety of reasons: to find cures or improve their quality of life. And this is particularly true in cancer. But so far, especially in cancer therapy, the research points that CAM should not be the sole alternative. It should not replace conventional therapy. Now, herbal medicines in particular have some challenges inherently. The first is that they're difficult to standardize because they have a lot of bioactive compounds. And together they could have something called synergistic effect, which means that the sum of the effects is greater than the parts individual effects. And so that means when we want to study particularly these compounds, we have to isolate each bioactive and investigate further. It is really challenging, therefore, to standardize components. Another thing to know is that natural products or these CAM products, they have known toxicity either from contamination from other plants which are misidentified as this product. It could also be contaminated by other pharmacological agents or even toxins such as heavy metals. So this is something that we have to recognize and further research. Additionally, as a healthcare professional, and I do want to emphasize that they have natural health product and drug interactions that could lead to deadly effects. So we have to be very careful, actually, when we work and when we take in these CAM products. So here are some points for improvement in terms of the research and the work that we need to do as a community. The first one is that we need better international quality control standards for these products, because globally we see an increase in the use of these CAM products. There is also need for more scientific research on the activity of herbal remedies. And the lab I used to work with for my master's, we worked a lot on discovering pharmacologic activities of different compounds. So I do think that this is quite a necessary focus of work. The third point is that there is a need for understanding better patient behavior and improving the patient and healthcare professional knowledge related to CAM. So in the Philippines, there are a lot of CAM products. However, there is a research gap in that we do not know as well the behavior of the patients as to these CAM intake. And also, globally, this is a trend. Pharmacists and other healthcare professionals actually do not have that much training on the use of CAM. And that is very important to address. And it's a gap as well that we need to work on. And the fourth point is that we have to respectfully address CAM use and dialogue. So everyone gets the respect for their treatment options as needed. One project we are working on currently in the University of San Carlos is an NRCP funded project, and it is based in Metro Cebu, the social and personal determinants of herbal supplement use. We think that this is really crucial at this point because they're in this time of misinformation. People can take in a lot of herbal supplements unguided by healthcare professionals. So I would like to encourage you as well to look into that point of research in your various communities. So the last point of caution I would like to share with you is something that I discovered only because I was studying in cancer. So normally people really think that health supplements are fairly safe. But I want to caution that health supplements and all these CAM products, they're not one size fits all, especially in very serious conditions like in cancer. So there was a very famous trial in 1994. And this study, they found that there was actually no reduction in the incidence of lung cancer among male smokers after 5 to 8 years of dietary supplementation with vitamin E or beta carotene. In another clinical trial in 1994 as well, they were not able to find very promising results for cancer prevention. In fact, new findings in mice suggest that antioxidant supplements may promote tumor progression, tumor metastasis. This is in 2014. And so we have to really be considerate of the condition of people taking supplements. So the study suggests that people with high risk for cancer or those who are undergoing cancer therapy or they have the tumor already, they should avoid antioxidant supplements. Because one thing, conventional therapy actually usually increases oxidative stress rather than reduces it. So that could interact again with your medication. This is further corroborated by another study wherein oxidative stress was found to inhibit distant metastasis of the human melanoma cells. So cancer, again, is a very unique situation. They have increased reactive oxygen species because in cancer, ROS actually can promote the the progression of cancer or the growth of cancer. And then they carefully balance this by increasing their antioxidant capacity. So cancer cells actually have a greater antioxidant capacity. So we have to really be careful when we give any component, any supplement that affects oxidative stress level. So for therapy, you just have to be very considerate of the condition, just cancer. And this is a very prime example wherein I can tell you that definitely you can't just give supplements for everyone and they'll be really safe. So I hope that you keep that lesson in mind. Um, not to overwhelm you with the negative effect of that, though, I do want you to embrace with me the power of phytochemicals and that we can fully harness this for food and also for drugs. So first, I do want to emphasize that even in our daily lives, even if you don't take supplements, we can safely incorporate phytochemicals into our diet, and that is a very good way to do it. So phytochemicals are really quite important. And phyto comes from the Greek word plant, as you most likely know. And these are the bioactive plant compounds that are so useful in our diet. But also, again, you will see these classes of phytochemicals in many studies of drugs, for drugs and for drug discovery research. So the question again is, do we eat whole fruit or can we supplement? Just take the supplement. So that's very interesting. So for cancer prevention, so far, phytochemicals we know are really quite important, but there is no evidence that taking phytochemical supplements is as good for you as eating just the whole fruits and vegetables. Okay, so here are some phytochemicals that are quite popular for cancer prevention, and people believe that taking these into your diet will help prevent cancer. These are quite interesting. So again, like even if we don't go into drug discovery, this is something that you can take into your daily life. I hope that helps a bit. Another thing that I'd like to share now, this is another part of the lecture, is the possibility of blending traditional and modern medicine better. So years back, I was part of a field trip, and we went to a rural area. It is a traditional Thai medicine clinic, and it is actually connected to a conventional treatment center. So I've never seen such a setup before. And the manufacturing plant for these health products was also connected in this compound. So this is some lesson I've learned from Thailand, and is that these two modalities of treatment can coexist quite well. This basket actually shows like a group of herbs and treatments they use as a post-pregnancy program. So it involves like steaming, scrubs, and a special Thai massage using special herbs, and they give this to new mothers. And they perform this at the treatment center for medicinal effect. So I have a QR code here about like if you want to learn about how Thailand does that, as I'm not an expert on that, but I do want to share my perspective on that. So in Thailand, they have a policy actually for offering the parallel Thai traditional medicine clinic connected with hospitals at any level, whether that be at the rural area or bigger hospitals. Their goal is actually that this parallel setup be available for all when you go for treatment. And that I think is quite interesting. It's a quite interesting setup. And I think it really heightens the value of their traditional knowledge as well. So this is one. These are some things that I've learned. The first thing is that it's very important to standardize products and to have really good manufacturing practices, even for health products, because you want it to be as safe as possible for your patients. And also, they have a very good qualifications framework for alternative healers or traditional medicine doctors. This is their setup. Actually, you can take a degree, a four-year curriculum, or you can receive certification in indigenous Thai medicine knowledge by their government councils. And in that way, they actually control who can administer these traditional medicine services. That is, I think, very important for us to do as well. So their goal is actually to increase the percentage of outpatients who avail of services for the traditional Thai medicine services together with the conventional therapy. So I think that's really quite interesting to note that it doesn't always have to be competitive, actually. So this great importance on traditional medicine is actually based on the WHO Alma Ata Declaration of 1978, and this was an impetus for Thailand to have a so-called renaissance of Thai traditional medicine. Because here's an expert of that declaration: it's that people have the right to be involved in the planning and implementation of their healthcare. And primary healthcare, or like the first point of care for people, should reflect and evolve from the economic conditions, social, cultural, political characteristics of your community. And the primary healthcare actually can involve the traditional practitioners as needed, suitably trained, socially and technically to work with a team. And that is why I think that we can definitely adapt this in our primary healthcare model as well. So another point of interest, not just on their qualifications or not just on the education on traditional medicine, it is that we need to integrate better products into the market. So I went to the 7-Eleven where I live, in front of where I live. So to take photos of supplements actually that can be easily found. So I think one thing that would amaze me is that these health products are easily available, even in 7-Eleven, and that means there is quite a market for it. And I'd like to point out some really interesting products that can be found here. Snail mucin is very popular in Thailand, but personally, I don't want to go through a procedure where you put snails onto your face. Some university researchers at Chulalongkorn, they created a snail farm in 2015, and they also created a product called Snail Pea. This is quite interesting. You can even find it in Shopee. So there's really a high demand for good quality natural products, especially for beauty and healthcare here. This is another product of the Faculty of Pharmacy in Chula. These are not, I'm not involved in these projects, but I do admire these projects quite a lot. So this is an acne dressing from mangosteen peel extract. So I think that's quite interesting because well, probably you know how to make a mangosteen paste and put it on your face, but it's not convenient for daily use. And so I think I would like to encourage researchers here to think of more ways to incorporate scientific research into products. You can work with pharmaceutical research teams as well to bring about such products. And so they have like a lot of other products as well, and easily available in 7-Eleven. We have turmeric capsules here for flatulence, some products for diarrhea, fever, and these are all herbal products. So I think this is a really vital thing to have as well. This one's another like facial scrub. So using nanotechnology to improve the herbal products effects. So again, if we want to have better integration of health products into the market, then we need to provide the better products. And I hope that inspires you also to think of better products you would like to see in the market. I came from the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences for my master's, but I come from a different faculty. But I do want to talk to you about the field of pharmacognosy and pharmaceutical botany at our faculty. And here are some research clusters, I think, that are doing really great work. I've visited this unit as well. This is the unit for plant-produced pharmaceuticals. This group produced the RBD protein of SARS-CoV-2, and this is used for the rapid testing. So this is something called farming, PHARM, farming. And they use the plants as a biotechnological manufacturing tool to produce biotech products. They also use this for the creation of antibodies for cancer immunotherapy. You also have the Chula Can Center. So in Thailand, cannabis is recently legalized, especially for medical use. And so it's really important that we do research on how to improve such products. And another unit that I think is doing really great work as well is the research unit of DNA barcoding of Thai medicinal plants. So this is really quite helpful for the standardization of plants and the identification of plants. They've worked on about 500 plants already for Thai medicinal database. That's really quite cool. And I think that would be very important for improving the integration of knowledge on plants and their eventual use into products. So the last part of my talk now is really more about the the benefits of natural products in drug discovery. So this is the study about the trend of the drug sources. And you can see here that natural products still hold out the best options for finding novel agents and active templates. So you just have to look at the source breakdown here for all new approved drugs. And you can see that natural products still have a very important role. In green, you can see the natural products, botanical natural products, are derived from natural products with semi-synthetic modifications, and also even products that were synthetically made already or totally synthesized in the laboratory. But their pharmacophore or their main active component is actually from a natural product. You can see that a large part of this, of the all the approved drugs, actually rely on natural product structures. So I'm citing here a few plant-derived drugs that are very important in therapy. So we have vincristine and vinblastine from the periwinkle. And this is, of course, very useful as in standard chemotherapy. We have morphine from the opium poppy, aspirin from the willow bark, and the last one is a very important uh, compound. So this one, I think, tells us a story of great success and how traditional medicine may guide modern science. So artemisinin, or king Shu, was extracted from a Chinese medical drug, king Hao, in 1970s. And the scientists took inspiration from a Chinese medical text written many, many decades ago. And in China, I would say that they do value the traditional medicine knowledge that they have acquired as well. And I think that this is also a very good direction for us to look at in the Philippines. So I want to emphasize CAM's outstanding contribution to therapeutics. And you can be a part of this model in various ways. I will show you two examples later on of how I've been working on that. So actually, again, as a reiteration, these CAM products are here to stay. And WHO estimates that herbal medicines provide primary healthcare already for about 4 billion people globally. And 85% of traditional medicine, these CAM products, just call them that, actually involve the use of plant extracts already. And this is what we call modern herbal medicine. And that will be the first thing I will talk about. So again, you have herbs or preparations, and then upon better extraction methods, you have the modern herbal medicine, from which you can extract phytochemical groups. And then if you really want to go further than that, and this is the challenging part, you isolate single compounds. And actually for my group in Thailand before, we worked primarily in single compounds. And so you purify this and you do lead compound structure modifications to improve the effect of your original structure until you reach the full drug stage. And you will have to do preclinical studies like in vitro or in vivo studies until you reach clinical trials. It's a very long process. But all these stages of the drug research process really do have value, and I want to emphasize that. So, more in modern traditional medicine, I was previously part of USC Tuklas Lunas, and I do want to share a bit about that. So, we have to we this project has been going on for years, and it started with a survey of traditional healers in Cebu, or in our region. And I think that's really important, because you need to take stock of traditional knowledge that could be lost to time if we don't do any research. And then we do the screening for potential activities and potential toxicity. That's really important. And I would encourage like plant biologists and medicinal chemists to work with pharmaceutical scientists to create better formulations. And you can do the further testing, such as animal studies and standardization, again, of herbal supplements, which is extremely important when it comes to CAM, as I've mentioned earlier already. So this is a DOST funded project. And the goal is the creation of herbal supplements to lower blood sugar, hypertension, and high cholesterol. You can read more about it in the linked, or the QR linked document as well. So next, I would talk to you more about cancer therapy specifically. So I worked on cancer in my master's, and I'm still working on cancer actually now. So I'd like to talk to you about the problems about cancer therapy. So the reason I think that we really should invest a lot of research in cancer is that people are living longer, and well, there's a lot more pollution that we are facing actually, and that could mean more damage to our DNA. And so 1 in 3 people, they said, would develop cancer in their lifetime. And that could very well be us. So while we understand cancer better because we have the systems biology approach, we have all these new genetic techniques, we understand cancer better, but the cancer treatment is still not as effective as we want it to be. That's the reality of things. So here are some 4 key reasons why cancer therapy is problematic. First one is that targeting cancer stem cells is really difficult. Not all cancer cells in a tumor is the same. So you have stem cells that are harder to kill. And as you know about stem cells, they have the capacity to regenerate. And so even when you kill all the rest of the tumor, but the stem cell remains, that means your tumor comes back. And that is a really difficult challenge if you cannot address the stem cells. Second is that there are drug resistance properties conferred by these cancer stem cells. And that's why eventually your cancer therapy will not be as effective as it was in the beginning of your therapy. And then you have to pick another therapy again. So it's really challenging. The third point is that there are limitations of conventional therapy, and that they're non-specific to cancer cells. And that could actually lead to also very dangerous, very difficult side effects to manage. And metastasis is a major issue. It is the spread of cancer tumor from one side to the rest of the body or other sides. And this is a huge problem in cancer therapy. You can no longer remove a tumor. It has disseminated. And so that poses a very difficult problem, given that chemotherapy itself is not that effective yet. So I'd like to talk to you a bit about the work that was done by our group. I was affiliated with a group called the Cell-Based Drug and Health Product Development Research Unit, and it is from the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and we study pharmacologic effects of various natural products, especially. Particularly on we want anti-metastasis effects in these drugs. So our university is quite focused on addressing SDGs, and for pharmacy, of course, we're addressing SDG 3 for good health and well-being. These are some of the products we've recently worked in: Avicennia marina, Avicequinone B, the orchid the benzyl from dendrobium. And then we've also worked on peptides. So we don't just work on chemical drugs, actually. We obtained this from edible Thai mushroom. So again, phytochemicals are really quite important, as I've mentioned. So, and also we have recently been working on marine products. So my work previously was on cystospongia, actually, on Gerunamycin A. And you can read more about their work here. So, how can natural products address therapy issues? So, I'll just give some examples of our recent publications from the group on how this can be done. So, aviciquinone B, again from mangroves, sensitizes anoikis in the human lung cancer cells, meaning this compound suppresses metastasis eventually, as I will discuss later. So we also have the stemness suppressive effect of the benzyl in the human lung cancer stem-like cells. So we try to enrich the population with these stem-like cells. And one interesting research we've recently done is the chemosensitizing activity of a peptide from the Thai edible mushroom. Now, what is chemosensitizing activity? So we take the mushroom peptides and administer it together with cisplatin, which is the conventional therapy. And what we find is an increased activity of cisplatin because of this co-administration. And what is interesting also is when you test this peptide, it has a greater it has a targeted effect on cancer cells versus normal cells. So I think that is an issue again with conventional therapy, as mentioned. Gerunamycin A also was able to suppress stem-like phenotype and sensitize cisplatin-induced apoptosis in the cancer's stem-like cells in lung cancer. So finally, I'd like to emphasize, my point of interest is actually this, the anoikis sensitizing drug leads. So in our lab, we are working on a lot of these similar products that address anoikis so that this could suppress metastasis in the future. So when a cell is detached from the original tumor attachment, you are expecting anoikis or cell death. But what you find is that cancer cells will survive even in circulation and further colonize the site. So that is the big issue. And we were interested in marine anti-cancer drugs for their high potency and novel mechanisms of action. Have here a couple of examples: the ectinacidins, the reneuromycins, and the ectinacidins are also represented by Yondelis, which is a drug in the market already. And this is approved for a soft tissue sarcoma. So gerunamycin A is actually a related compound to those two classes of drugs that we've mentioned. And we were able to find its anoikis sensitizing properties. I will not go into this project, but I do want to emphasize that again, we need to do more research on the functional assays and also the mechanism of action of these drugs before we can proceed to clinical trials or in vivo trials as well. These are my references. And thank you very much for listening to this presentation. It's been a great privilege again.